Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar. Ashhadu la ilaha illallah, ashhadu la ilaha illallah, wa ashhadu Muhammadan Rasulullah, ashhadu Muhammadan Rasulullah. Hayya ala salah, hayya ala salah, hayya ala falah, hayya ala falah. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, la ilaha illallah.
La ilaha illallah. Al-Alam Asasa ala sim lalum Aliyah Lakama alika ali ma'un. Welcome to Al-Jumah. And today we're going to talk about pronouncing words in Arabic. And everybody been sending me stuff about proper tajweed. But after we do this, I'm going to recap, because we're supposed to recap every Jumah. But Tashdiids, double, a consonant with a vowel on it. So raw bad, not raw bad, that's one, it's double. And when you say Allah, this is what you're saying, Allah. Then y'all say Allah, it's A, not all. Y'all saying a family with no belief or unity. This is what this word means. This is how you pronouncing this. If you pronounce this right, la, a family striving with speed towards the one worthy of worship without shape or form. That's proper Arabic. Salaawatu means a perfect vocal request, bow in the direction like a guidepost, looking for forgiveness, seeking improvement, not saying whatever somebody else say. Islam is meant for the intellectual, not dummies. Just because somebody down the street saying something, you don't follow them. You investigate. So many people have been happy about this, because when I first came into the fold of Islam, I asked my imam about the A. I said, why do they round the A off? Instead of saying like Bismillah, they say Allah. He said they pronounce it wrong. I said, well, when somebody told me that's what I was supposed to do. This when I was 20. But it goes through the whole Quran. And I'm going to read to you what the Fatiha will sound like when you read it right. Bismillahi Rahmani Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen Rahmani Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina siratal mustaqima. Siratal ladina an'amta alayhim. Ghayril maghdubi alayhim waladhdallin. You double the consonants. You don't run them into each other. The perfect salats is the ones that get answered. That's why the Muslim world is in so much turmoil. All of the knowledge has disappeared. And the people who do know something, not sharing the knowledge with the masses. Because this is a rule. And I looked into my Quran in the Tajweed part, they says nothing about a Tajdeed. So when they started pronouncing this like this, probably the same time they closed the doors to the Kaaba, and the wrong people became in control of the Arabian Peninsula. Because I shared a picture today, they having a dinner in Saudi Arabia. Nobody got beards or mustaches. They eating good with music playing. Nobody got salat marks, because this is them right here. And to my brother, Daryl D. Allah, brother, change your name. This is what your name represents. It don't mean this. And just like Fire what? In the Nation of Islam. They say Fire Muhammad. Yeah, he was that. That's exactly what he was. That's the title that he deserved. Because he is not that right there. See how when you don't know, when you do something, then when it's found out how you make to look like a fool? This man claims to be the creator of the universe in the physical form, a white man, an intelligent primate. He came over here with the wrong Islam and brainwashed 90% of the black people in America and made white people hate Islam because they came with the wrong message. Like I said, brother, change your name. All y'all who call yourself Allah, talking about y'all gods. No, you're not. You represent a family with no belief or unity. So you kind of independent, off to yourself. Don't be by yourself. And I'm going to read today. First, I'm going to read Calf. Because we're supposed to read it every day. And it's a reason why you read Calf. La, lu, he, mu, la, fa, ta, wa, fatu, fifin, la, malaku, la, fa, ka, kaf, fa, he, fa, It's me, families. Hasten with speed towards your kinfolks, this celestial being. I'm an intellectual with divine abilities to be able to speak the perfect Salaawatu while worshiping, sounded like music to achieve my goal. A promise of pain, divine retribution, plagues, loss of property, death, meant for those who don't believe and those who forgot Salaawatu, always complaining, never agreeing, always inconsistent, non-compatible, always contradictory. Denied to you is this message, to make you feel good or give up your good ways. You're just going to sickness, suffering, sorrow, along with cauterization, a promise not to be broken. Cave dwellers, families of sodomites, perverts and alcoholics, gullums, all will be cut off entirely until they adapt and learn to fit in and qualify as soon as possible in order to be made ready by getting slimmed down, removing a little, refined with a touch of elegance, protected under the shade from the fire. And being slimmed down means being, I forgot the word. Well, they need to be slimmed down. When is that? When you get fit. Hey, well, this is a message to the cave. We're supposed to read the cave every Friday. But this is the only reason why our European brothers have come under this, what they're going through, because they failed to believe. They failed to believe in the oneness. And today I'm going to read the story about Mary and Isa. Isa alayhi salam and his father. Some people say that the man didn't have a daddy. Everybody has to have a father. And I'm going to start reading from Surah 19, I got 16 through 27. But first I'm going to tell you what the words in the beginning of the surah mean. Kaf ha ya ain sa is Kaf ha ya asa. It means the people of the cave can be beautiful. What? After hearing this, they will be drawing near before noon. Wath, Kuru fil Kitabi, Maryam, Ethin Tabathat, Min Akhliha, Makadna, Shariki Yaya, Fa, Tata Kathat, Min, Dunihim, Hajaban, Fa'arsalna, Ilay Haruhana, Fatah Mathathala, Laha Basharan, Shariya, Qalat, Nini, A'udhu bi Rahmani Minka, In Kunta, Takiyaya, Qala, Inana Ma, Ana Rasulu, Rabibik, Li Ahaba, Laka, Gulam, Zaki Yaya, Qalat Anana Yakunu, Li Gulumun, Wa Lam, Yusasni, Yasharun, Wa Lam, Aku, Bagi Yayan, Qalat Kathalik, Qalat Ra Bubuki, Huwa, Ahla Yaya, Hayiyin, Wa Linash Lahu, Ayatan, Lili Nanasi, Wa Rahmatan, Mimi Nana, Wa Kana Amron, Mamahdi Yahya, Fahan Malaku, Fan Tabathat, Bihi Makanan, Kasiyayan, Fahaja'aha, Maka'a, Du, Ila Jith'in Nanahda, Qala, Ya Latani, Mi Tutu Qablu, Hada, Wa Kuntu, Nasyan, Maman Siyayan, Fanadaha, Min Tahtiha, Alala, Tahzani, Qad Ja'ala, Rabbubuki, Tahtaki, Sariyayan, Wa, Hu, Mini, Lilayki, Bijith'i, Nanakhlati, Tusakit, Ahleki, Rutaban, Jani Yayan, Fakul, Wa, Sharabi, Wa, Kariri Ainan, Fa Imama Taradi Nana, Mina Bashari, Ahadan, Fakuli Nini Naturtu, Li Rahmani, Salman, Falan Uka Lilima, Yauna, Insiyayan, فأتت به قومها تحملوا قالوا يا مريم لقد بكت شيئا فريا يا أخت هارون ما كان أبوك كم رأى سوء وهو ما كان أمامك نجيا فأشارت عليه قالوا كيف نكلم من كان في المهد سبيا. And in English, relate to them from the book when Mary was wrongfully charged by her family for indecency because she had accepted a marriage proposal from Haruhana, meaning he who is upheld by his soul like a bucket of water being drawn upwards toward inspiration, a copper-colored Messiah, ruler of Eritrea, Ethiopia. After agreeing to the proposal of marriage, along with a promise to raise her in stature, along with a duty upon him to compensate her family in full to the utmost with wealth, he told her that they would be provided for fully as long as you remember, I am the man, the one who was created to rule, and you're going to be my backbone. I was blessed with strength to protect you, wealth to provide for you, intelligence so I can instruct you in scripture. Take this, Mary. It's 6 donkey loads of wealth, 1,000 pounds as payment for raising such a spectacular woman, who has agreed to be my backbone. She took the donkey of wealth back to Yemen and made a complete circle after a dispute between her and her family that she was totally innocent of. Now sitting perfectly still on the deck of a ship with all of her whatnots, ready as could be to start her new life with her future husband, on his ship complete with cabin, crew, and cannons. She had to slip away from her family unnoticed. So she boarded the ship wearing a hijab along with a cloak to hide her appearance, mentally struggling with how her destiny was turning out, preordained. That right there had her filled with excitement and passion. Once the ship would land, she was prepared to live a kind, generous life, ready to reform and straighten up on the straight path. Still complaining to herself about those false charges put on her, being charged with indecent conduct, had her filled with resentment towards her family. Those were the feelings of Mary, the mother of Yemen. Once they reached Eritrea, Ethiopia, at the end of her trip, she heard the call to prayer, and the remaining Roman Israelites, black flesh, uncountable in numbers, all of them, his kinfolk, all of them are adherents to Scripture, multiplied in beauty, just because even more stronger right now, just became even more stronger right now at this moment, standing out, uncomparable in deeds, favored. So we live separated in order for our family to press on to the world worthy of worship without difficulty. We are uncomparable to others. When we were seen spreading the message, they rebuked many of us because of our beliefs. We are considered contemptible and scoffed at in places like Asia, East Asia, the Orient, in the West, and everywhere else, everywhere east of the Mediterranean, the Middle East. Stole, sold, bought as slaves, made to toil in the sun for no other reason than being believers. Crushed, weakened, reduced to the status of a slave, your ancestors. Raise up. You've been promoted to join an intellectual movement. We must weaken their morals when defending ourselves. Be harsh. Repeat word for word. Reduce their strength by any means necessary. Use them legs, young men. Stand up alongside your kinfolk to show your unity. Do everything unique, men, when you're together. Stay at arm's length so your ranks can't be broken. Each family is a separate nation, so break up. Each nation do their own thing. Be peaceful and conservative. First, take possession of the Holy Land. Next, start caring for all the sick children with medical care. Stop complaining and claim responsibility, men. With completeness and perfection, fulfill your destiny. The time is perfect for some of us to dominate in indefinite numbers. If you need something you don't have to accomplish your task, read about it, then invent it. Family striving towards the final destination, the one worthy of worship, without any discomfort. Learn to desire doing good deeds. Do something every day until it becomes a habitual habit, like smoking a cigarette. Do something for the neighbor. Do something for the low and out, for the mean-spirited, for the vile and those considered worthless, for those with bad qualities, and for the weak-minded cowards. Do it by spreading the wealth all over the world, wherever you are right now, among your people. Wait until after the sun goes down to use the cover at night. Then take as much dry commodities, beans, rice, corn, all that type of stuff, as much as you can carry, while not being burdened down. Feed the poor and whoever else needs it. Afterwards, sit down and have a conversation about life. Once you're finished watering their soul with the water of religion and their stomachs, return home safely. If you're stopped or harassed, escape by any means necessary. Fight, run, get away. They prey on our young males, especially the very young males, by raping and killing them. That's like today. Coming up with plans, then going on killing sprees in broad daylight. Then they slip away like they were given permission, plus given a window of opportunity to do it in. We are to separate from them, far off, physically, emotionally, and mentally. Start by being unresponsive to anything that has to do with them, period. Strive to the goal without form. being vigilant and always on guard. Be aware of beautiful, elegant, attractive, sweet women. Beat the ones who seem to always be ready with nowhere to go, as if they have a team of slaves working on them to keep them looking pretty nonstop, just to look that way for one day. And if a man imitates a woman in that way, knock the spark of life out of her. I've been inspired with the revelation. Let's bow and prostrate. It will help us weaken the enemy's morals. From their leaders down to their followers, it will stop them from resulting to using misconduct as a tool for fights and arguments and diseases of the eye that makes them unable to see colors until I appear with the whole kit and caboodle. They're turning back in dismay from this smiling, happy, thick-skinned, sun-bathed, raisin head who believes with the conviction they are equally convicted to their lifestyle too. So you better beware. Repeat word for word. Barely, if not able to, repeat word for word. Barely, if not able to ejaculate or have orgasms. Allah, your favorite female god, always slow, late, and irritating. Never looking for some shade from the Trinity provided by the one worthy of worship. Returning to the compassionate. Them, they will never do it. They are always harassing the peaceful ones, upright humans in hair suits, with products made from melanin, from dead blacks' DNA all over their bodies, stuck to their skin. Slaughter them. Go read about it in the Zabur, the original book of Psalms, about the cave creature, the man, the mountain dwellers, with no immune systems, diseases unaccountable from mixing with animals. When caught in the act, take them out in the field and execute them and the animal in order to be righteous. It is a law to be put back. It is a law to be put back in effect from now on. Punish them guilt-free. They are creatures, so don't ever complain about it. Kneel, invoke a blessing, ask to be able to see into the scriptures, not using your eyes. Envision a heavy responsibility being made especially for you to bear, like a millstone tied around your neck, being removed from black people's necks with affection. So, like them, learn from experience when it comes to dealing with the creatures in hair suits. Indeed, to be a citizen of Kuwait is a desired position. Repeat word for word, scribe. Indeed, to be a citizen of Kuwait is a desired position. Repeat, say, family, this is truly, truly beautiful. Is it not to rejoice in your own habitat, separated, able to do as you please, being visited by this envisioned raisin head, who's grounded, sent to those who don't understand scripture, so they are the faithless. These are the ones I've been sent to in order for them to draw near and convert. You are hereby invited, red-skinned man, to accept being invested in by accepting this trust, with the power to rule the land where your family's habitat is located. Start by making wise judgments, by teaching. Teach them how to obtain physical power, to be strong and how to use it to their advantage. When fighting slow-witted, retarded talking homosexual cannibals, abominable Gentile gullums who are gripped with unnatural sex lust, accepting their gifts of money to become rich, yea. That's the only requirement they desire. What an excellent trait to have. They are always clean, clean as if they were about to make a prostration, in beautiful clothes to attract attention to themselves for all the wrong reasons, trying to make it happen anywhere they can. Repeat word for word. Say, raise up your alak, your late ejaculators, Then ask her to breathe into existence or produce anything, whatever you think you need. Swearing and screaming while you have unnatural sex, seducing nothing but gullums, without having any requirements to meet except being able to turn and twist while enduring violent pain. And rebuke the men of Yemen, living in despair, violently sexually harassing, molesting, raping, and kidnapping and forced cohabitation. They desire grinding down little cheerful, smiling, happy, pious, raising head blacks who were placed and raised in the sun. Relate from memory and rebuke any messenger that doesn't have an aversion for depression, categorization, laziness, mixing of the races, laziness, gambling, swine, alcoholic beverages, lying, prostitution, idols, gullums, and fake man-made scriptures that's been rewrote or blurred out. When they appear, expose all of their hidden scandals with the truth to bring it to the light so all can see. After you take your noon nap, go measure some dry commodities to pass out to the poor, always being humble, plus intelligent. After the noon nap, say, Lord, save me from being embarrassed, from being feeble and weak, loose and infirm. Then ask for some love to be sent down. Apply it 2 times, spreading it all over those that are tired, having natural, beautiful shapes. That is conductive to good health. Go support the people, plus keep doing physical and mental containment. Stand tall, stand high, stand fast, stand quick. Come on, Mary, let's travel by skis. It's good exercise. Thrust down into the sand with the ski poles. Downward strokes violently will cause you to advance while going to provide for the poor without stumbling. Look, Mary, people, kinfolk, covering a whole hill, numerous. All were coming for the event. Haruhana faced the people. Then with a wave of his hand, the crowd went silent. Then Mary, in all of her beauty, enhanced even more with the hijab, came and stood behind him, flanking him to his right, smiling. In a loud, clear voice, Haruhana said, behind every good man stands a believing woman, and the one I choose is Mary, the mother of Yemen. After the ceremony, Haruhana announced they would be leaving in the evening. Relieved and comfortable was how they both felt. Next, Haruhana told Mary and the congregation that they would be consummating their union to become as one, because before the ceremony, it was prohibited for them to have relations as a protection for black-skinned Syrians. Then he said, as a favor that will benefit you all, a blessing from me, Haruhana, ruler of the Romans, to take those gifts of wealth, plus some food, melons, and manna, from the elm tree, the food of our people, Bani Israel. I was wasting away while I was doing this. I was told to stop writing. I leaned on the table, said, stay there in your seat, and some food to your plate. Replenish yourself. Once I took a stand by saying, no nobles can come back from the grave dug by a shovel. Now I stand apart, separated, reassured, confident, like a pomegranate, red and hard on the outside, full of little red seeds and sweet juice on the inside. Suggest that I'll be blessed to raise future babies who will be clean and pure when they come out. The time is approaching to govern and lead and go repair the rest of the lineage that still remains who are asleep by taking a shovel and scraping off the dirt, filth and diseases, etc. Then get a mirror and say, look at it. Then envision a predestined Roman. Examine it. He's covered with green duckweeds from you throwing at the leader while I'm leading the prayer. Beware. Leave, go in peace. Repeat verbatim. It is a requirement for the one who knows. Passively, she opened herself to him. They moved as one. Then with a single fluid motion, she released blood, followed by an odor. The seed was sown. Like an oven on high, she began to glow and shine while the seed started to change. Then the seed turned in the womb and faced Mary. forewarning her about the weaning and the cutting of the foreskin. She was told to always protect him from danger and to lift herself up and transport herself to return to her parents' house, exhausted and worn out. Don't be weakened or defeated by people adding made-up practices, so families striving to the one worthy of worship without stumbling would break up and disintegrate, walking around in holy clothes with them hanging off their bodies, surpass, transcend vulgarity and indecency. The remaining nations of us will be ruined by those two traits until they almost perish. There will be blacks in confusion, lost in the dark, not able to see the light because of the tears in their eyes for them killing our people. Empower them to gain their footing again. Narrate, scribe. She descended down a steep mountain pass, holding in the surprise about her tying the knot and how she had traveled through the sand, impregnated with a seed from paradise. Mary was put out by her family, despite what she said, so she left. The pain she felt made her eyes moist from the tears. As she walked, she saw a gleaming flicker of light, so she pushed it. The faster she walked, the closer she got until it was in her face. Which kind of palm trees are for the picking? Say something, you unborn future one. I've been orphaned. Where are the orphans kept? The unborn future one replied, what? She said, I've been orphaned. Where are the orphans kept? The future one replied, with those who believe. They will give you a friendly reception. They will be adherent to you. And the incident that befell you, you've been blessed with longevity. Forget Yemen. You're going to be a mother due to a gracious bestowal of contraceptive fluid. Forget about that. Let's return to the protection of the shade. You're exhausted. Buy some raw meat. Pre-order it with elegance to have it ready in advance. Go ahead, get enthused from making this happen. From deep, deep down, you pushed it with elegance. Families, press on for success. Never make it possible to fornicate or commit adultery or eating undone raw bloody meat. Those things will strip you of your outer integrity plus your stature. Make a prostration for your eyes to your Lord from being mixed up and confused. Let's make it possible from deep down. Push it to the limits. Relate this story. Travel by night to circulate it. Stand parallel to it. Shake it until something falls. Hey, try to manage yourself from agitating the messenger inside of you. You're gaining weight in the face and neck area. It's the last stage of your pregnancy, indeed. Go lean against that palm tree. It's scanty looking, about to die. Is it the 9th month? Pain, oh, the pain, like a scourge. Persistent pain, non-stop through the whole birth process. As time passed, the child grew, developing, excelling, standing out, managing the niggardly. As a messenger, there will be moist, ripe dates for the gathering in abundance soon for him. So he forewarned her that he would be losing his grip, moving from the breast to food, and to push him to the limits in order to bring out the best in him. After that, he is to be given nothing but water. Educate him in the scripture and nourish him and take good care of him. Strike a fire. Show your little ones some hospitality. Nominate them by always speaking in detail when you talk to your children. You're returning home with the water of religion for those tarnished, deteriorating Yemenites and Iraqis who descended from a family of smiling, happy, cheerful, pious, raisin heads who were placed in the sun. Every last one of them come from black people. Let's go home. Introduce us. Let's go back. But when somebody speaks to you or gives you the greeting, turn from them. Just pass by. It is a sign for you not to speak to anyone. Indeed, he was devoted to worship the one by his mother, to be well coordinated and organized with the source that moves with compassion. to save from stagnation. Return now, let's go home. It was foretold to me, we will be consuming food, then fruit on a hill, at the point where the streams meet. I will govern those affected by fear, the irritated, and the dirty, and the rebuked. I will make them feel less lonely by cheering them up and comforting them. As time passes by, they will draw closer unto me. Let's return home. Introduce us. It will raise your spirits. Go home. It will remove negative emotions, the heat of your fever, physical and emotional pain. I will strengthen them with evaluations in order to evaluate those Iranian Gentiles with elegance, protecting always absent-minded blacks who bear hardships while traveling with some support so they won't go through life stumbling. Repeat the following word for word, scribe. They turned up the heat like Mary was in a frying pan. Ooh, Mary, mother of Yemen, haven't you a title for it yet? Do you even know the sex of it? Is it a horse? She replied, a living being, a sign from the one worthy of worship without form, a word, a magnificent curly hair, and has an incision on his penis. He was circumcised. That was the word that slipped my mind earlier. That is one of the only requirements that the intelligent primates will not meet. Two, they will not believe. And in order to believe, they must be circumcised. And some people say, well, why? Because they're not being circumcised. When it comes to the enjoy of sex and making babies, they will never get the full pleasure of it because they have the extra skin. So that makes them go look to other things, looking for that. And like I said before, when it comes to the woman, it's not the whole pubis, it's the skin that goes around it. Then that will expose it. So it can have received sensation as a stimulant. But with the skin covering, it's never going to happen. And with the skin covering, it holds bacteria and germs. So with the skin going, it's cleaner all the way. So when a baby comes out the womb, it doesn't catch diseases coming through the extra skin, because that's all it's holding. It's coming into the world dirty. That's all they have to do and believe.
What does circumcise mean?
Removing the extra skin off the private parts.
Doesn't it hurt?
Man, I don't know. I was so little when it happened, I don't remember. That's when it's supposed to happen. Not when you're grown. But that was something, and you think about this, nobody taught an African-American slave how to circumcise their children. We came over here doing that to ourselves, and the Indians was already doing it to themselves long before the white man came over here, and he still don't do it. But this was all made possible. And there's times in here when they called me a scribe. It took me 20 hours to translate this. I sat at that table, I would have my wife and daughter put cream on my back and massage my shoulder, but I couldn't stop writing. This is the reward of this, is how Allah in the Quran, I was named the Mahdi. Because you just can't say I'm something. You have to earn everything you get. I done seen brothers on the internet today saying stuff, they don't even know what they're saying. It's so sad to see them up there because they damaging their soul, because they know they don't know what they're doing. All the Middle Eastern pale-skinned Arabs, the people part of Arab Spring. If they in your country, y'all in Africa, kick them suckers out y'all country. That's how you play them. Make them go home with that stuff, because they don't even know what they're doing. It sounds pretty stupid when they be up there reading that stuff, saying this right here, and they don't know what they're saying. All this is Arabic root words. That's what I speak in. I speak in the pure Arabic form. This is the root words of where all your words come from. That's why y'all don't understand it, because you don't know Arabic. You say you know it, but you don't know it. If you know it, you're looking at it, you know some of these words that's on the wall right now. If this look like a foreign language to you, you don't know Arabic. This is the language that's given to us to communicate with the one who has no shape or form. This should be our first priority, to learn this. You're supposed to want for your brother, want for yourself. If you want to be closer to the one, learn this, teach it to somebody. Teach it to your children. Teach it to somebody. Because right now, it was Jumah all over the world. How many people still saying that Allah? How many people talk about a family who don't believe in nothing and no unity?
People that don't believe.
Yes, they believe, but their belief has been diverted because they followed somebody who didn't know what they was talking about. Like I said, that man Elijah Muhammad, he stagnated so many people in America with them false teachers, and he right, this is him right here. That's him and his whole family and the people who follow him right now. That's him. This is the ones who stuck to this, even though they were saying this, they didn't believe in that. They was, what you believe, they gonna make the transition. Because when Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam came, they was praying towards Jerusalem. He told them to start praying towards Mecca. So they made the transition. It's not a change in the direction this time. It's a change in what's coming out your mouth. Y'all not saying the right stuff. And to make your prayers be heard and effective, you got to say it right. My name is Stephen. That's the name my mama named me. People used to call me Steve, and I heard him to correct them. That is not my name. My name is Stephen, and I'll spell it for them. Say my name right. If you keep saying I don't answer people who don't say my name right. So with that, all the people who name themselves Mohammed, the name is pronounced Mohammed. You got a tashdiid in it. So you say it 2 times. So when somebody is insulting the man, they say Prophet Muhammad, who is that? They not even saying the man's name right. If he walked down the street, they say, hey, Muhammad. They wouldn't even, he'd keep walking. They said, Assalamu alaikum, Muhammad. He'd turn around and get the grease back. Because that's the man's name. People naming themselves names, and people, brothers who name themselves Elamine. Elamine is saying it wrong. It's Alamin. That means a family of intellectual primates.
Who stick together?
Yeah, but I'm saying, that's a favorite name for people in the Nation of Islam. Elamine. First y'all believe in this foolishness. Now these so-called racist black people, they name themselves a family of cave dwellers. That's come from ignorance. Being on the wrong path in the beginning because they brought it the wrong way. And they was led all the way to this point right now, to this, where they all stuck at. Elijah Muhammad is this in the person, so yep, he is. And they not, and most of them say, I'm gonna keep saying this to the end. They so right, and they end is now. Because they don't want to follow the truth. But with that, I'm gonna end the first part of Kuba.
The last part better be short.
Yes, ma'am. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. If that way is closer to what I say, and I'm not going to take up a whole lot more time for the second part, but like the story of Mary said, separation. Once you really believe that nobody can come from a grave dug by dirt, once you believe that, you are different. Once you believe that you are different, you're supposed to separate yourself now. Physical and mental containment. Ramadan coming up. Do it during Ramadan. If you know Arabic, start trying to read it the right way. If you got some teaching, or go learn it, do something, because that's how the Quran goes. The Nation of Islam promoted that they followers don't learn Arabic. So they lost. They back there. They can't never do nothing. They don't have nothing to say no more. Because they can't even say the words right. And like I said, this is knowledge for free. You come get this for free. And like I said, you're supposed to want for your brother, want what you want for yourself. We have orphans in Islam that need to be helped. I've been doing all I can helping these brothers. We're going to need some help for all those people out there who saying they believe. We're supposed to help the orphans. I done met a couple of families where the brothers have no father, their fathers have died. These young men are supporting families of children on their own. Some of them trying to escape from over there. They are saying that Nigeria is one of the worst places in the world. And from what I'm seeing, they're kind of right. Because they own some whole different stuff over there. They circumcising the wrong women and then they cut the whole pubis off. They crazy. And then they over there not helping nobody. The government is taking the people's money. And they over there with the LGBT like they over here in America. But they supposed to be Muslims and they over there doing it. I done seen it on Facebook. I don't know what the matter with them is. But we need people, there's some people that's trying to get from over there. I just left Western Union before Jumah started. Because I believe in helping everybody I can. That's how it's supposed to be. When I was a kid, I was blessed to be spoiled right. I had all the clothes. I met a guy who didn't have no clothes in the 5th grade. He seen my closet. He said, man, I ain't never seen a man. I said, boy, get you some clothes to wear for school. I gave him a whole wardrobe. And that was my friend. That's how I always treated my friends. Now, if you weren't my friend, I didn't treat you like that. But if you was my friend, they'll tell you. That's how I treat everybody.
What happened to him?
He's still around.
Where?
In Atlanta. Name my fool. They was in the nation when I met them. But that was my first introduction to Islam.
How is he in Atlanta?
That's where he moved to. But just like my daughter, I got her switching to pronouncing double tashdiids. Proper tashweed. My daughter. That's what some people say they like about me because I raised my daughter. I raised my son too. But it's harder raising a daughter and you get double blessings. I ain't gonna say blessings, you get double barakat. Barakat for raising a girl.
That's what Barakat means.
Good stuff. You get favors and stuff that's good stuff that's happening to you when you do good stuff. Like teaching your daughter good hygiene. How many out there teach your daughter good hygiene? Or by wiping herself with wet toilet paper?
None.
Every time she go to the bathroom. Every time she go to the bathroom and then give her a break and then go check her underwear to make sure they ain't got no stains. How many people on here watching right now can say, I have no stains in my underwear? See, that's Islam.
None are saying that.
That's somebody on there saying it because that's how we live. The ones who watching them the ones who doing it. The ones who saying, I'm going to keep saying boop, 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 boop. Them the ones who don't clean themselves. The ones who don't got no mark on their head, who don't got no marks on their knees. They don't got none of that. Who their wife got weave in her hair. And their daughters got braids in their hair. And their sons have earrings in their ears. Them the ones I'm talking about. See, they not going to never watch this.
I seen some man with earrings in his ears.
That's what I'm talking about. See, they don't pray. But this is for those who trying to make it better. Because they knew stuff that we didn't know. People knew about me before I was born. When I was in prison, a man from Egypt came to see me because he connected with my imam in prison. So don't never count inmates out. They prayed for me. My wife went haywire. Next thing I know, I'm in prison. Learning from a man who said he prayed to me to get sent to prison so he could teach me Islam. I couldn't even get mad because I was an asshole in the streets. I said, well, I must deserve this thing. I said, well, let's go. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to be the best at it I can be. And here I am. I forgot, just like the Quran, I forgot when I got out, but I'm back on track now. And I got my little warrior, got my wife, got my son, he about this tall, 16, got a giant, gonna have some more. My mama coming. I thought my man Jimmy was coming. I met a lady at the watering hole. That's where you meet people at. If you got some natural water in your town, go there. All the time. You're gonna meet people just like you. Fools don't go get fresh water. Intellectual people go get fresh water. That's where you meet the best white people. Because if they coming down and drinking that, they not poisoned by what's coming through the saints, what everybody else getting. That's how you tell who is who. When they say, oh, I got me some cherry lime water from they crazy. This water down here on Martin Luther King don't never get cold.
Nope.
This whole neighborhood sit on water. Y'all want to come to America and learn some of this? Move over here in this neighborhood. This is the best neighborhood right now that I know of. It's sitting on water, fishing down there, and it ain't too many intellectual primates around here. If it is, it's the ones that can fit in. See, it's always gonna be some. The ones that's in this neighborhood, them the ones that can fit in. When you walk down the street, they don't act crazy. They don't want to purge. You know what I'm saying? They don't get Trump signs in their yard. They stay right across the street from the black people's store, so they got to get along. But keep all that on your mind. Ramadan coming. Ramadan coming. Get it tightened up with that Arabic and try to read the Quran in Arabic. And if you know Arabic, start learning the words and then just go through the Quran and see if you can find the words in the Arabic. That's when you start opening up your eyes and start eating cucumbers. So, Al-Alam Asasa ala Sim Lalum Aliyah Lakaba Alaka Ali Mahum. That's how I'm cool on it. I finally got it down to where I wanted. I almost got the prayer memorized. I gave it to my mama yesterday. I got a little another piece I need. But hey, I'm loving this. I love being smart. I love giving it to people too. I ain't never gonna just keep it. I just made $100. I got $3 left. I sent all my money to the Gambia to feed some Muslims. That's how we all supposed to do. So I'm like, ready for